Oh, inspiring show this has been. And tonight we're going to bring to you a little star wisdom. Um,
Can't go
and
wrong with
I
that.
loved how Daniel was talking about messages from the stars. And so we tonight is actually a very powerful time. I know that everyone's been involved in 8-8 Lionsgate, and our spiritual path is the ancient Egyptian or Kemetic path, and so 8-8 was actually kind of brought about, but from
The
a
New
very
Agers.
ancient, ancient holy time for the ancient ones, the ancient Egyptians, and that's the heliacal rising of Sirius. And then I know that for Lionsgate, they also talk about Regulus, which is the star in the heart of the constellation of Leo, being very important as part of the Lion's Gate and helping us to awaken our hearts. But tonight, we actually have a conjunction. Our sun and the heart and Regulus are conjunct, meaning at the same point in the sky in terms of the degree that they're at. So we're going to bring to you a
Auspicious
little
times.
Kemetic wisdom and inspiration about how the ancients, um, yes, it's working, yay,
Yay!
how the
Doesn't always
ancients
happen.
kind of brought peace and order to their communities and to these were the principles of ancient Kemetic principles, and so we are
Is there
calling them.
somebody running an electric something outside your window?
Let me just close that window. Hang on.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
because
way down. Okay.
unfortunately it's really coming through. We're hearing it pretty strongly.
Okay. That hopefully, did that make it better?
Yeah, it's I can slightly hear, but it's not as invasive as it was before.
Right. Out here in the jungle, we also had people without power for the past week. And we just had Hurricane Lala come rip through the big island of Hawaii Island and Maui, last Saturday and Sunday. And people have been without power for almost a week, for a week, some
Wow.
people.
Wow.
We were very fortunate. We only lost our power for about 36 hours, but our neighbors, literally like within a mile from us, just got their power back like last night. So
Wow.
if
Wow.
everyone could hold Hawaii, we have another big storm coming through tonight.
Moki.
Yeah, so we could not have done this last week. It was really hairy around here.
True.
So our teaching tonight is called the Lion's Heart, sacred power in service to peace. And really, isn't that what everyone's talking about? We're at a potent celestial threshold, but the heart of this teaching is profoundly human. Each of us carries gifts, will, courage, and creative power. And the question is not whether we possess power. The question is how we will meet it, tend it, and direct it. So today this evening, we will journey through the wisdom of Kemet, ancient Egypt, and explore Ra, Sekhmet, Heru, Ma'at, and HorEmAkhet. And we will then move from teaching into embodiment through guided meditation and sacred sound.
Before we begin, let's all of us arrive together and be grateful for the community that we are. Be grateful for the souls that have taken the time to share this Zoom call and to really honor each other's divine wisdom, intentions. It's just such an honor for me to be in sacred community like this. Just want to say that first and foremost. So let's feel the surface beneath us. Let's notice the rhythm that we breathe without needing it to change. And allow your shoulders to soften and become aware of the living space around you. Okay? This is not only information, to understand with the mind, but it's an invitation to listen with the body and the heart. And we're all welcome to receive what resonates and to let that rest pass gently by. As we enter, carry one question with you. You do not need to answer it yet, but simply just let it travel with you like a golden flame. What will your power serve?
And just place your hand on your heart and take a gentle breath in as you tune into that beautiful flame that dwells within your heart. And let's ground ourselves in our heart, nourishing that flame with your love, your passion, your compassion. And now bring your awareness all the way down to the center of the earth, the crystalline iron core of the earth. And with your next inhale, draw earth energy up, mana, wisdom, from the center of the earth into your heart. And exhale, letting it nourish that heart flame. Now inhaling divine energy in through your crown, calling in all the guidance, the support, the wisdom, the knowledge you require on this, your sacred mission, in through your crown into your heart. And let that nourish that heart flame. And now take 3 nice breaths, inhaling both the earth and cosmic energy into your heart center. And exhaling, allow that heart flame to radiate even brighter, nourishing it with your love, and the wisdom of the earth and the cosmos. Inhale again. And exhale. And one more breath, inhaling here. And exhale. And so we continue. You can release that hand. So as I was sharing tonight and tomorrow, late tonight, early tomorrow morning, the sun approaches its annual conjunction with Regulus. Regulus is a star at the heart of the constellation of Leo. It's known as the heart of Leo. And this is what the constellation of Leo looks like. So we're talking about this star right here, the heart. That's Regulus. It's also known as the Little King. And then this is the Little King. And in astrology, the sun speaks to the center of vitality, our sun, consciousness, and purpose. And Regulus has long carried royal symbolism, visibility, courage, leadership, and the tests that accompany influence. So when our sun illuminates the heart of the lion, we are invited to contemplate the nature of sovereignty. But sacred sovereignty is not domination. It is not standing above other people. It is the capacity to stand within ourselves with integrity, to become responsible for the energy, influence, and gifts that move through us. The royal heart is not measured by how much attention it receives. It reveals through what it protects, what it nourishes, and what it is willing to serve.
You know, the annual conjunction becomes exact on or around August 23rd, and the tropical zodiac Regulus is currently located approximately, I think, 0 degrees and 11 minutes of Virgo. So So although Regulus is the heart of the constellation of Leo, it presents tropical zodiac positions and brings the royal heart into Virgo, the sign traditionally associated with discernment, devotion, and service. That distinction matters deeply in a world where the power is often confused with control, like we experience. Power without heart can become force. Vision without balance can become obsession. And passion without listening can burn what it was meant to illuminate. The lion's heart asks us all to join with compassion. It asks us to become strong enough to remain present, clear enough to choose our direction, and humble enough to remain in relationship. Peace is not passivity. No, peace requires courage, it requires boundaries, and the truth and willingness to remain human in the presence of the intense world that we live in. This is where our question is not how powerful can I become? The deeper question is, what will my power, what will our power as this community serve?
So we're going to just give a little overview of the Kemetic arc of sacred power. And we begin with Ra. Ra is the sun, the living solar presence. But is Ra simply the physical sun? The answer is both more intimate and more expansive. The people of Kemet encountered divine reality through living forms of nature. The visible sun was not merely a symbol placed at a distance from the sacred. It was one of the primary ways solar divinity revealed itself, through light, heat, rhythm, regeneration, and the daily return of life. So Ra is not merely a ball of fire in the sky, and Ra is not wholly separate from it. The physical sun is a visible expression of a larger solar intelligence and regenerative power. Each dawn reveals a mystery, and each morning the sun rises, reveals a mystery. Light returns, life stirs, and what was hidden becomes visible. Yet solar power is not always gentle. From the eye of Ra comes Sekhmet. Some of you might be aware of the lion-headed goddess or nature called Sekhmet. Her name was associated with power and might. And the story of Sekhmet is when the world was in chaos and people were not paying attention and honoring the rhythms and cycles of life and the laws of Ma'at, which we will share about. Ra, from his solar eye, sent out Sekhmet in her the lion goddess, and in her fierceness, she kind of went to town, kind of trying to shake everyone up, wake everyone up, and bring people back to order. So she kind of got a little carried away with things, and they had to kind of give her some beer and music and all the things to kind of calm her down and bring her back. So she carries the fierceness of the solar force, the power to protect sacred order, confront what threatens life, burn through disease, restore balance. And her teachings are often misunderstood. Sekhmet was never meant to be suppressed. Her fire was meant to be tended to with care. How many of us are feeling our fire, our rage, our power? Frustration. And fire can burn things down, or they can transform things. So tending to our fire with care. So her story is not simply about rage, it's about carrying great power without losing heart.
True that.
When our fire is unconscious, it can consume indiscriminately. When it is rejected, it may erupt from the shadows. And when it is tended with wisdom, and so many people here tend to your fire with so much wisdom, want to honor you all. The fire becomes warmth, protection, courage, healing, and clear boundaries. This is the solar heart. The heart and will, so your heart and your solar plexus, your will, your power, in coherence. Love without will may struggle to act. Will without love may forget what it's acting for. The solar heart joins them together.
From the solar power, we turn towards Heru, or Horus, whose name is often rendered as Horus. Heru carries the mystery of clear sight, rightful direction, and restored sovereignty. The story of Heru is not the story of someone who never experienced wounding, of course. His eye was injured in his struggle with his uncle Set, and through healing and restoration, his sight was returned. This makes the eye of Heru a symbol not of untouched perfection, but of wholeness renewed. Clear sight is the capacity to perceive beyond reaction. When power rises, Heru asks, can we see what is actually here? Can we distinguish intuition from fear, guidance from impulse, and sacred action from the desire to prove ourselves? And then we come to Ma'at, my favorite. Truth, balance, sacred order, justice, and right relations. Ma'at is not simply a rule imposed from the outside. She is the principle through which life remains in harmony. The principle we practice here today with each other. It asks whether our choices create greater coherence or greater fragmentation. It asks whether our words and actions in leadership are aligned with truth, or does Ra give us the light and Sekhmet gives us the force? Heru gives direction, Ma'at gives measure. Together they show us that the power becomes sacred through relationship. No single current stands alone. Fire needs the heart. The vision needs our truth. The leadership needs responsibility, and strength must know what it serves.
Mm-hmm. So ancient Egyptians, before they tried to manifest anything, they say, Ma'at before manifestation. And Ma'at is the goddess who has the feather, the ostrich feather.
Balance.
And you might be familiar with her story. At the end of their life, your heart is weighed against Ma'at's feather in the hall of justice. And if it's as light as a feather, if it's pure, if you followed kind of these laws of Ma'at for pureness, for right relations, for right communication, for stewarding the earth, for honoring our ancestors and all of our relations, well, then you go onto the Hall of Reeds.
This is human consciousness from like 6,000 years ago. At a time so far removed. I mean, it's almost 8,000 years ago. It's a time of balance and order when humans were just starting to put the laws of justice into union with being in harmony.
Mm-hmm. So it was to look within your heart first before we act. Are you in right alignment? And then we want to share at Giza, these teachings meet the colossal lion-bodied guardian. It's commonly called the Sphinx. The word Sphinx actually comes through the Greek tradition when the Greeks were colonizing, but the monument's original Old Kingdom name is unknown, so we don't claim certainty about its earliest name. But the New Kingdom, however, it was honored as HorEm-Akhet, which means Heru, or Horus, on the horizon.
New Kingdom like 3,000 years ago.
Yeah. This name restores an important dimension of meaning. HorEmAkhet is carved. This is the largest monument freestanding in the world. Okay, so HorEmAkhet is carved from the living limestone bedrock, and he has the powerful body of a reclining lion and head of a human sovereign wearing the royal, this whole royal headdress, and gazes towards the east. The lion gives us strength. The human sovereign gives us conscious direction. Let's go. Let you go.
So between the paws of HorEmAkhet stands the red granite Dream Stele of Thutmose IV, who ruled around 1400 to 1390 BCE. The stele tells us that while still a young prince, Thutmose rested near the monument during the heat of the day, and at that time much of the sacred body lay buried beneath the desert sands. This is one of the oldest relics of human history, the known human history, with the exception of Gotep.
Gotepe.
Yeah, Gotep. At that time, much of the sacred body lay, like I said, buried beneath the desert sands. As the prince slept there, HorEmAkhet appeared to him in a dream, and it promised him kingship if he would clear away the sand and restore the buried form. Thutmose later became king, cleared the monument, and placed the stela, this very large, and this thing's really big, by the way. It's 8 feet tall. Standing before the lion's chest, the stela rests almost like a great stone breastplate. I mean, it's an amazingly monument of history and time. This is our poetic interpretation rather than an ancient title, but the image is powerful, very powerful. It's a covenant between human consciousness and sacred power. The prince was not simply promised a throne. No, he was given responsibility. First, he had to uncover what had been buried. For us all, this is a good metaphor. That is where this ancient story becomes our story. We also accumulate sands of unforgetting inherited beliefs, grief, fear, distraction, and the voices that taught us to diminish our own sacred nature in this lifetime. The inner HorEmAkhet does not need to be manufactured. It needs for all of us to remember. What sacred presence within you is awaiting beneath these sands? What strength, what truth or gift is ready to see the horizon once again?
And with that, we are going to move to our
Sound healing
goals and into our little sacred journey now.
That was, first of all, thank you so much. It's amazing the history that you guys have. And I should let everybody know that Donny and Heather lead retreats to Egypt. And I know that I definitely intend to join you guys one of these times. So just while we're in the Egypt vibe, when is your next trip to Egypt?
It's spring equinox,
In between the paws of the saints.
2027. So it starts March 19th, and on the 20th it's the equinox, and
For sunrise.
we are between the paws of the Sphinx for sunrise, and the next night is the full moon in Libra, and we're 2 hours in the King's Chamber leading a ceremony, and it's also over Easter this year, so next year. So Easter, we're actually in the Valley of the Kings, and we're at the sacred shrine for Ma'at, and we also have a private ceremony at the Temple of Isis, Aset. If you click on that, click on that.
So I just invite all of us, let's take a minute and visualize many of us being together with Donny and Heather for next Easter in Egypt. I've been wanting to go with them for years, and let's just hold that vision. Let's all hold the vision that many global peace tribers are with Donny and Heather in Egypt for next Easter. I love that idea.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you, Scott. So,
Absolutely.
you ready for the next part?
Yes, absolutely.
We're going to take you on a little journey to really embody this practice with a sacred Hekau. And so in Kemetic tradition, Hekau is like a chant.
At the
So
very
at the
end,
very
it is.
end, we'll take you through a chant using Kemetic language and for activation of our sacred power and illumination.
And I just want to say, Heather and I do Kemetic yoga practically every morning, just because it's called Tejef Sima Pa'ut Netaru, which means moving in divine union in the company of the gods and goddesses. So it's a practice of really, embodying the energies of what's all over the temples. It's very, very powerful. Let me switch this audio and let's check out Heather's.
All right. You there yet? Hello, can you guys hear me?
You sound great, Heather. You're all good.
Okay, fantastic.
Check 1, 2. I sound okay?
Yeah, you're a little bit louder than Heather. You're about...
Okay, I'll turn it down. How's that?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, good.
All right. So we invite you now to move from listening into direct experience. And if it feels comfortable, allow your eyes to close. You may also soften your gaze or keep your eyes open. Adjust your position in any way your body needs. You are always free to move, pause, or simply listen. Feel the support beneath you. Notice the contact of your body with the earth. Let your breath arrive without force. Imagine that beneath you is the ancient limestone of the Giza Plateau, warm from centuries of the sun. Feel the strength of the lion's body, grounded, steady, and at rest. There's no need to perform, no need to prove. Let your weight be received by the earth. And with each exhale, allow the muscles around your belly, heart, and shoulders to soften. Feel strength becoming present. Before you, the eastern horizon is still dark. A thin line of gold begins to appear where the earth meets the sky. The first light of Ra touches the horizon. It does not rush. It simply reveals. And with your next inhale, receive that golden light through the crown of your head. Let it travel gently down the center of your body, illuminating your throat, heart, solar plexus, and belly. If you feel, bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your solar plexus. Within your solar center, sense the presence of Sekhmet, as a small, steady flame. This is not the fire of destruction. It is the fire of vitality, truth, protection, and courage. You do not need to make the flame larger, but tend it with care. Let it become clear, warm, and coherent with the rhythm of your heart. And silently offer, may my power remain rooted in love. May my power be rooted in love. Now bring awareness to the space behind your eyes. Imagine the clear sight of Heru awakening within you. Not the strained sight of searching for an answer, but the quiet sight that recognizes what is true. Allow now one situation in your life to come gently to mind. Perhaps something that is asking for clarity or right direction. Without solving it, ask, what becomes visible when I look through the eyes of the heart? What becomes visible when I look through the eyes of the heart? Now imagine yourself standing before HorEmAkhet. See his giant paws resting upon the earth. Feel the lion's quiet strength. Sense the ancient gaze turn toward the light. Become aware of the sands that have gathered around something sacred within you. Perhaps they are the sands of doubt, old identities, grief, fear, obligation, or forgetting. There's no need to clear everything today. Simply notice one small place where the sand is ready to move. And ask inwardly, what within me is waiting to be remembered? Imagine a gentle wind moving across the plateau. It does not struggle with the sand. Grain by grain, it reveals what has always been present. Beneath the sand, recognize your own sacred strength. Not power over another, but the power to remain present. to speak truthfully, to choose consciously, and to serve life. Bring your guiding question to the center of your heart. What will my power serve? And sense the feather of Ma'at resting lightly within your heart. Feel the truth without harshness, balance without rigidity, order without control. Allow your inner fire, your clear sight, and your heart to come into right relationship. And silently offer, may my power serve truth. May my strength protect life. May my presence become an instrument of peace. Begin to feel the room around you again. Notice the air on your skin and the support beneath your body. Deepening your breath gently, perhaps moving your fingers and toes. And if your eyes are closed, perhaps allow them to open when you are ready. Carry the horizon with you. The light you encountered does not disappear when the meditation ends. Take one final breath into the lion's heart. Receive whatever came. And if what came was simply a moment of stillness, that's fine. There's nothing to force, nothing to analyze right now. We will seal this journey with sacred sound. So we are going to share this chant with you, and we hope you are able to chant along in your own way. It is Sekem Sahu. And so Sekem Sahu. Sa means to gather, to protect. So when we chant Sa, I want you to place maybe your hands on your heart and envision a beautiful golden ball of light underneath your hands. Sa. Then we'll move to Sekem with one hand on your heart, the other on your solar plexus, awakening the center of power, connecting your power, your will with your heart, your love. And then Sahu, we're going to open into our arms, opening, palms face up, sharing our light, opening to luminous presence. Right. So we are going to do 7 rounds of this today. And invite you to Start with your hands on your heart and center yourself. Take a breath. Sekem Sahu. Sekem Sahu. Sekem Sahu. Sekem Sahu. Sekem Sahu. Sekem Sahu. Take a moment now. Rest. Silence. Releasing the words and listening to the vibration that remains. Silence. After the sound is also part of the Hekau. Hotep. Do a Aset. Do a Ma'at. Do a Heru.